A very good morning, everyone. It's again such a pleasure to be here with all of you. This is possibly the last sort of press conference for Hurun in India for this year, and such a meaningful topic to speak about: the self-made entrepreneurship. The objective of the IDFC FIRST Private India's top 200 self-made entrepreneurs, the Millennia list, is to try and understand how the self-made wealth creation has evolved in the country. Today, in the next part of the segment, I will try to speak about what the list would have looked like if we were to do the same thing in 2000s, what it is now, and what could potentially be the future of self-made wealth creation, trying to draw on stories from how some of the exponential value creation is happening in new age sectors in countries like China through the various Hurun lists there. So if you were to travel back 25 years back, and do a list in the year 2000, a similar list would have a lot of entrepreneurs coming from manufacturing, industrial goods, textiles, FMCG, and so on. But fast forward 2025, in this year's list, most of the individuals emerge from financial services, consumer internet, e-commerce, software, and SaaS. And if you look at the current list in itself, just look at over the last 3 years, on the cumulative value of enterprises, right? That has risen from rupees 30 lakh crores in 2023 to almost 42 lakh crore rupees now. That's almost a rise of USD 330 billion to almost half a trillion. The average value per company has grown from rupees 1.65 lakh crores to almost 2.5 lakh crores. The companies valued above rupees 1 lakh crores have grown from 2 when we started the list 2 years back to 5 currently. The top 10 cutoff, that valuation has risen from rupees 50,000 crores about 3 years back to almost 70,000 crores now. And in the top 200, the threshold to enter the list has almost gone up by 1.5 times, from almost 3,000 crore rupees to almost 4,500 crores now. So in 2000, typically entrepreneurs to reach 2000s, 25 years back, to reach this kind of scale would have taken decades. But as you can see in this list, this scale is possibly gotten achieved in the 10 to 15 years. So this acceleration also reflects that more and more value is going to be created in asset-light business models, platform scalability, access to growth capital, and national digital infrastructure, of course, played a huge role in the overall wealth creation as well. And to give you some idea, in 2000, India's GDP was about $500 billion, right? And the last 25 years, and for the purpose of this list, we've only considered those companies founded after the year 2000. So all this value that I spoke about, which is $500 billion and total tax, almost, and the total number of individuals and all this value creation that we spoke about, that's all happened in the last 25 years when India's GDP went up from 0.5 trillion to almost 4 trillion now. That's around 3.5 trillion. Now, if we were to assume a sort of a current growth rate, now we expect to double the GDP in the next 10, 12 years. And that is an addition of another $4 trillion, to become, if double means adding 4 trillion. So all the growth that happened in the last 25 years is going to get executed in the next 8 to 10 years in India. So I wouldn't be too far off if I have to make a prediction that some of these most valuable companies, if you add their cumulative value, which would double from the current levels to at least $1 trillion in the next 8 to 10 years. And that is the size and the sheer scale of growth that we expect from this list in the next 10 years. And where is all this growth going to come from? And currently, it's mainly financial services. You've got some of these companies which are SaaS and software and services and so on. But I'll just share some data with you which kind of tells you where the growth could potentially come from. If you have to compare the unicorn index of China, right? In India, if you look at the Indian unicorn index, the top 3 contributing sectors are fintech, e-commerce, and SaaS. But in China, the top three unicorn producing sectors are semiconductor, AI, and new energy, right? And even if you look at a category called gazelles that Hurun has brought in, which is basically those companies with a valuation of $500 million with the potential to go unicorn, the top three contributing sectors for gazelles in India are fintech, SaaS, and e-commerce. In China, it's biotech, semiconductor, and SaaS. And even when you look at specific sectors like AI, right? US has about 70 unicorns from AI, China has 38, and India has 3. And let's say semiconductors, China has 42 unicorns, India has none so far. So aerospace, China has 10, India has 0, and the US has 14. So, but that's okay. What I'm trying to tell you here is that for a country of this scale, when it is witnessing sort of value creation and such high GDP aspirations, we would definitely have to produce more and more high value companies from the sectors such as AI, new energy, semiconductors, and so on, which is very important that India owns value creation in this sector, because without which we would have lost a huge race. So in 2000, by the 2000, India built an industrial foundation. 2025, we built digital scale and platforms, and 2035, India will build global solution, not only serving India, but also the rest of the world. So it is in this context and reflection that I would conclude my sort of note today, which is what has happened in the last 25 years, driven by the self-made entrepreneurs is fantastic. And they cumulatively, I've got some numbers, they cumulatively, so they generated nearly 5 lakh crores in annual revenues, paid of over 8,000 crores in direct taxes, and employed close to 8 lakh people, and nearly 1.6 lakh is women. So it's huge impact beyond the wealth creation in true essence as well. So in the next few years, when more and more value is being created and driven by these entrepreneurs, we see much more intangible and tangible creation. That's precisely why we wanted to come together and spotlight these entrepreneurs and their stories. And if these stories can inspire more Indians into entrepreneurship, I mean, that is the sort of objective that we are after. I once again thank Vikas and the team from IDFC First Private for partnering with us for the last 3 years to talk about these stories. And hopefully these stories will inspire more Indians into entrepreneurship and wealth creation. And in 5 years from now, a list double the size in terms of value is what we would expect. Thank you and have a good day.